I'm standing by with Mike Gooseby. He's a sergeant and the LAPD chief trainer for the K9 program. So what has your role been here?
So I've been here as the K9 safety consultant, so to speak. You know, these handlers, these dogs are all very well trained.
Over, good boy.
But they're being taken out of their element right now because now they're against the clock. They still work at their own pace in their own time.
Fetch. Good boy, come.
Now they're against the clock. You know, we say in the K9 community, everything goes down a leash. So if the handler gets erratic or frantic or nervous, it goes to the dogs. So they're really challenged right now to keep control of their dogs and stay on course.
How realistic are so many of these obstacles tonight to every day and what your officers are going through?
I think they're very realistic, especially to say the car scenario behind us. The dog has to jump in a certain direction of the car and jump out of a certain window of the car. And he has to do that under time, and the handler can't put his hands on the dog, and the dog has to act on his own. So the interaction between the handler and the training that dog has had before is really going to become the showcase at that point. In the real world, if you had a police pursuit or if you had a felony car stop and the car needed to be cleared, but it wasn't safe for humans to approach, you could send a dog in there to clear the car. The dog would jump into the car and essentially search the inside of the car and then return back to the handler's side. Here, that's replicated with the car obstacle. The only difference is the dog has to jump in one way and jump out another way, and the dog is on the clock.
Healing.
The fire escape replicates the real world because the dog has to traverse many stairs and obstacles to find that suspect. The difference here, though, is that the dog can't go up the stairs until he makes that available to himself. He has to pull the tug and pull the stairs down. The high jump, that's probably one of the best obstacles out here, and it really replicates the real world. If a dog is chasing after a suspect that's taking a foot bail, and a suspect jumps over walls, the dog has to jump over those walls behind him. And in the real world, you don't get a chance to dictate how high that wall is going to be. So here on the American Top Dog Course, they have the wall, they have barrels at different heights and different levels for the dog to traverse. The rope bridge is a space between the boards. The dog has to traverse over that space without falling through. And dogs don't have that depth perception, so it's kind of a challenge for them to do that.
Come up. Come on.
Splashdown is a great challenge. That's where the dog has to now jump into the water and make it to the other side. In the real world, again, we can't choose where suspects decide to hide. If the suspect decides to hide in the water and the brush, the dog may have to jump into that water to go search their brush for the suspect. The Boneyard is a course where the dogs have to go into a maze. And it works out because when dogs go and search real houses in real life, they don't know the layout of that house, and the handler doesn't know the layout of the house. So the Boneyard replicates that. But the problem is, again, they're under the clock. So they have to do a systematic detailed search in a very hurried manner to find that scent article, get it out, get it checked, and make sure that the dog is right on target. In the real world, time is on our side. There's no time clock, there's no hurry for us to get it done. We go in, we take our time, we do a systematic detailed search. We may even search a room 5 or 6 times over again. Well, here, you're under the clock, and you can't do that. So now the handler's nervous, the dog is nervous, and they're on the move. The doghouse is where we're really going to find out how much of a packed bond has been forged between that dog and that handler, especially when they start climbing through things and obstacles together. The spider web represents you going into a room and there's a lot of debris and there's a lot of boxes, and you got to be able to clear all that area from the front side to the back side and traverse through that with the dog.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Up. Good boy.
So oftentimes they're searching warehouses and you have to climb on top of obstacles and boxes and your footing is unsure. The final challenge that the competitors face is a takedown. It replicates what we call in the canine world a directed deployment. A suspect is running from you and you order that suspect to stop and you send the dog to stop that suspect dead in his tracks.
So what do you think of this whole thing, this whole competition of Top Dog?
I think it's outstanding. You know, if you had told me 20 years ago that the canine community would be getting this kind of attention, I'd be very surprised. This is great. It's a good thing for all of us.
Well, thank you for your service and thank you for being here.
Thank you.